program called Teach for Sustainable Development Goals. What's the program called?
Teach for Sustainable Development Goals.
Now, this program is all about creating awareness among the students' body that there is need for us to maintain the sustainability of our society. How? We need to create awareness, letting the students know that there are certain actions that could be taken to make the world and indeed the society a better place. Now, part of it is embedded in what is called Sustainable Development Goals. Now, these Sustainable Development Goals are 17 in number, and each of them is unique. Each of them tells us what we are expected to do in order to make the world a better place. As you can see, there are so many issues in the world today. We have crisis, economic crisis, political crisis, food shortages, hardship, transportation problems here and there. And all these things need what? Attention. To add to it, we also have what we call energy crisis. You don't have light, you don't have supply, you don't have water, you don't have clean environment, pollution here and there. Now, all these things are categorized under these Sustainable Development Goals. That is, what the United Nations want to achieve in this program is to let the students have some awareness about what is happening in their society and how they can help in their own little way to tackle it or to correct it. So now we're going to start by introducing the Sustainable Development Goals. Like I said earlier, there are 17 of them. And all these goals, we are going to look at the objective of the goal, the target, that is what we want to achieve, and then the action that we're going to take in order to achieve that objective. Are we together?
Yes.
So we're going to start with the first goal. Oh, before we even start with the goals, let me just give you a brief history how these Sustainable Development Goals came about. Now, in sometime 2022, so 2012, or before 2012, there is this thing they call Millennium Development Goals. Millennium Development Goals. We call it MDG. You put a little S attached to it. Now, under MDGs, there are 8 points that the United Nations want to solve problems on in developing countries, in where developing countries, including African countries and Nigeria, developing countries. Now, what they are saying is that this 8-point agenda of the United Nations are not enough if you only consider a little region of the world, which is the developing countries. So, in order to make this thing to be universal or to be global, they change it from just mere 8-point agenda to 17 goals. Now, this one now is no longer targeted at the developing countries, but the entire world. Because we find out that the problem is not only happening in Nigeria, it's happening in other countries, even in the developed world like America, like China, Canada, and all that. They still have the same problem we're having. So they say, okay, no need for us to limit it to just one place or one locality. We want to generalize it. So that is how they came about the Sustainable Development Goals to replace the Millennium Development Goals. And this one started in the year 2015. And what they're looking at is what is known as Vision Vision 2030 agenda. Now, what is this Vision 2030? They're looking at how the world will be transformed by that time, that all these challenges that we're going through right now will no longer be there. And for us to achieve that, it takes a collective effort, not just the organizers, not just the United Nations. Everybody is involved. Everybody, the school, the society, the young, the old, women, men, everybody. Do that little one you can do to make the society a better place. That is just the crux of the matter, what we are about to do right now. So your own part as a student, you're also going to know in course of the lesson that you need to do something. There's something you need to do, even as we are collectively fighting these issues in our society. So we want to start with the Sustainable Development Goal 1. SDG 1. SDG 1. That is, now, what is even sustainable development before you even go to the goals? Now, sustainable development can be defined, this right. Sustainable development can be defined Are you there?
Yes.
Can be defined as that development that takes care of the present needs. That development that takes care of the present needs, that's plural, needs, without endangering the prospects, of future generations in achieving their own needs. Without endangering the prospects of future generations in achieving their own needs. That's sustainable development. We're talking about the development that can occur now, at the same time give room or gives room for the future, that is tomorrow, years after now, to also achieve their own world development. That's just a summary of what sustainable development is. Now, when you talk about goals, goals are like aims, objectives, what you intend to achieve. Now, since you have known what sustainable development is, what are the goals that this sustainable development wants to achieve? So we start with sustainable development goal number 1, which is what? SDG 1 is all about what? Zero hunger. SDG 1. The goal is, let me write the word. Okay. SDG 1 is no poverty, rather. No poverty. No poverty. Now, part of the problem in the world is poverty. If you look around, so many are struggling. Some cannot even eat. Some cannot feed well because of what? Poverty. So the United Nations is looking at how can we solve this problem of what? Poverty. So the aim or the goal number 1 is no poverty. That there should be no poverty in the entire world. So by so doing, they said our students should have awareness. Come on. That's why I need my system. No poverty, which means there should be end. We need to end poverty in all its forms everywhere. That's just summary of that goal number one. That poverty should end in whatever form it occurs, it should end everywhere all around the world. So the United Nations is looking at how poverty can be ended globally. Do you understand goal number one?
Yes.
Then goal number two, zero hunger. SDGs, zero hunger. Now, this one says that we should end hunger, achieve security and improve nutrition, achieve security and improve nutrition. And promote sustainable agriculture and promote sustainable agriculture. So goal number two is looking at how we can end hunger. Just like when I started, I said that so many persons are hungry, they will not even feed, which is bad. It's a problem. Of course, you know that if you are not well fed, you will not even have the strength to come to school, is it not? Yeah. So you need to eat. It's a necessity. You must eat. And there is scarcity of food because of what? Poor commercialization of agriculture. Most of us, especially in this aspect or in this part of the world, we are not doing agriculture. We need to create the awareness. Whether you are a worker, a working class person, you are a businessman or woman, you need to